Hi, my name's Gay, and I just came out of the closet as Nathan. I mean,
welcome to our very special Valentine's Day podcast that won't come out on Valentine's Day.
And you got to watch the visual. The audio really doesn't pick up the kisses.
Yeah,
you don't get to see the kisses.
There'll be a lot of smooches.
Hold on. Still see, you only got to hear that. You didn't get to see me kiss him.
The sound of kissing.
You didn't get to see me kiss his lips.
Do I even know or care about the sound of kissing?
Which body part do you think I'm kissing now?
The sound of kissing. That's like a metal song. The sound of kissing.
The sound of kissing. You sure?
Or it's like a Jason Mraz song.
Sounds more like a Jason Mraz song.
Who is writing that song?
It sounds more like a Jason Mraz song.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe like Colby Calais.
Yeah, is that how you say your name, man? I have a hard time with her name.
Colby Calais.
Is that how it is?
I don't know.
Colby Calais. Colby Calais. Colby Calais.
Colby Calais.
Yeah, it just sounds. It sounds really dumb.
Have you ever heard the song "Lucky" by Jason Mraz and Colby Calais? I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, man.
Of Bubbler by Colby Calais.
Man. So, Jakey, I just feel like you've had some things on your mind, so why don't you just open right up? I feel like you've had some ideas. I feel like you've had some thoughts.
Yeah.
I feel like you've just had some things to get off your chest.
Yeah, regarding what?
I'm not totally sure. It just feels like there's just been a building pressure inside of you. Even a couple days ago, I feel like you're like, I just got some things to say. But then I don't think we gave you an opportunity to say them.
Wow.
Just wondering if those are still floating around under the surface, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I don't know. In regards to pop culture or just like how I'm feeling.
Now it just sounds like neither of us really know.
Well, I want you to dig a little. I feel like we could get there.
Yeah. Let me dig on you. I dig you. I think it had to do with current events for sure. Definitely something possibly political.
Okay.
Which is good for us to get to before we get stony.
Yeah, I'd love to.
But maybe not. Maybe we just get. Maybe anything I talk about before I get stony. Maybe it's inverse.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think some of it ties into the conversation we were having the other night.
Yes.
A more serious conversation, but regarding the Kyle Rittenhouse situation.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a tough subject to tackle, but I'll give it my best go. I feel as if I'm operating a little bit outside of the norm on both sides of the spectrum, and I'm finding myself here in this like lonely place often, where I feel like the mainstream media views, like the binary view of all these things, really just drives me insane because it's so there's so much capitalism involved in every story, and it's like making me want to blow my brains out. And I feel like, in fact, it's leading me to think.
You're talking about following the money trail?
Yes. Like, anytime I see somebody profiting from a trial or, like, a tragedy, I'm just, like, kind of uninterested because I suddenly realize it's no longer moral and ethical dilemma. It is now away from me. I have no part in it. I don't even have an opinion that matters because somebody's benefiting. And when it comes to, like, it's funny, with Rittenhouse, there were two ways to think. Either he is a white supremacist who should be in prison forever for murder, or he's a hero. And that is just insane. He is neither of those things. He's a stupid idiot boy who made a ton of terrible decisions that led to him having to defend himself. And he happened to have a gun in his hands that I feel like should have been illegal, but he got off on a fucking
techie?
A technicality. A technical foul, flag on the field. There's a ref. There's a ref at the fucking place. That's horrible. So anyway, I do think that it's pretty simple to me that consequences. You should have consequences for your actions, and Kyle Rittenhouse is certainly not innocent. Do I think that he should be convicted of murder of the first degree? Absolutely not. Just because there's a lot of other people who made choices and had consequences, but it's a tragedy that death occurred. And when death occurs in a situation like that, and no one really gets held accountable, is how I felt. And really, Kyle Rittenhouse should be held accountable in some way, shape, or form for the things that led to that situation. But also, dude, it leads me down this secondary path around consent. Not consent. Consent has
like
its
they
own.
didn't say you could kill me.
Yeah.
There was no consent.
Consent is the wrong term, but it's like who should be punished for what happened here? So should it be Kyle Rittenhouse's parents? Should it be the media that radicalized him? Should it be, and the same could go for the other people on the other side, but just speaking about that kid in a vacuum, who was responsible for him ending up in that situation? And I'm just like, God damn it, man. Because we want to hold someone like Joe Rogan accountable for influencing people's minds. So therefore, when people do things in the name of somebody else, who are we holding accountable? Are people even responsible for their own actions anymore, is the question I have. Because if they are, someone like Joe Rogan doesn't matter. If you are responsible for what you, Nathan, do, it shouldn't matter what you listen to. The problem is we ascribe motive to the places where we're sourcing our information from. That's where we're being like, well, it's because of QAnon that these people marched on the Capitol. No, it's because these people are fucking nuts. It's because these people are easily susceptible to stupid information and need a community and need a place to feel like somebody. These are people who have been ostracized from society for any number of reasons. Now, is it QAnon's fault that anyone is choosing to follow them? That QAnon is a fucking terrible thing that probably shouldn't exist. But it's like everyone here is making their own decisions. I guess I just feel as if we're starting to get to a place where groupthink is becoming the modicum, or is becoming the motor. Groupthink is becoming like, I'm saying nothing. Groupthink is becoming like the mainstream way of thinking, of being. It's like you're supposed to fall in line with these giant groups like, oh, I'm liberal, so therefore I believe all of these things. Oh, I'm conservative, therefore I believe all these things. Rather than having an independence to think for yourself. And within that, we're only ensuring that more by saying that no one is responsible for anything they're doing because these other powers that be are responsible. And it's just so fascinating to me because then I'm like, well, then what choice does anybody have? And that framework can be extended to so many different parts of music. Or, sorry, not music, but entertainment, media, life, whatever. But when it comes to like something like music, when speaking about like the Halftime show that we just watched, it's like I'm like, that shit sucks to me because it like feels like karaoke. It feels like it's not music to me. It's like not as performative as I'd like to be. But it's like, again, the amount of hands that are going into this thing, the amount of different pieces, the amount of parts that led to that being kind of a really cool thing. It's like I can't just diminish it into this tiny little thing that I like to do. So what I'm saying is I can't easily with a good conscience be like, oh, it's just karaoke. It's like those guys built a fucking empire and paved a new wave of music and West Coast music that is so fucking cool for me to sit back and just be like, oh, it's just this thing. It's just not it. Even though like I would prefer if music performances were music performances because that's how I am. That's just what I believe to be true. That's not what everything encapsulates when it comes to.
Well, even think about Headband Andy.
Yeah. What about him?
Well, as far as like a musical performance goes, like you're just talking. I mean, maybe I'm just taking this conversation the wrong direction, but you're talking about music being performed and not just karaoke, like played to a track. But entertainment, man, I don't know. I was just saying that I felt like you had such a high regard for this guy and what he did and his like how much fun he had on stage and like the entertainment he was bringing to that crowd. But he was just like, he wasn't along the lines of an artist that's performing a complex piece of music. He's more along the lines of someone singing to a track.
Oh yeah, he was definitely doing karaoke. I feel like the way I felt about Headband Andy in that situation was it was the exact right thing to be doing. Mm-hmm. Where something like the Super Bowl, to me, that isn't what feels like the right thing to do. That's just my opinion. And I realize that that's like the opinion of like an old head, honestly. I'm like, I want it how it used to be. And like, that's just how I feel. Where it's like when you're at a club playing for a bunch of teenagers and you get up and you make all those teenagers jump and punch and kick each other and they're having the best time of their lives, you're crushing in that setting. I just think context matters for so many different things, and that's what I'm saying, I guess, in so many words, is that like we try to remove. I just feel like, man, this is the problem why I'm not saying everything on my mind, because everything that's on my mind is just
Well,
mush.
I told you what, dude. We found the cork, man.
I'm just
I told
like
you there was something under the
exploding.
surface.
I'm exploding with like this feeling that
we released the pimple.
I feel like I feel so afraid to talk about things anymore because the context. If no one knows who I am, I have to explain the entire context of what I think. So, for instance, and it's so fucking frustrating because it's like I have to pretend that I'm super liberal around liberal people so that they don't think I'm a fucking racist white supremacist who wants statues to remain up. And then when I'm around conservatives, I need to be like, I don't also think that like someone being a like identifying as a dragon is a good idea. Why do I need to explain this? Why is it difficult to explain to people that, number one, statues of people who lost the Civil War should be taken down? It's pretty simple for me. I understand if other people have like difference of beliefs, but to me it's like those aren't even Americans. Those are people who didn't like America. They're bad people. They should probably be taken down. Where on the other side of the coin, why do I need to explain to someone that I don't understand if you identify as a dragon? I'm not that okay with it. Like, those are insane things.
No, if you identify as a dragon, I'm fine with it. If you identify as a dragon and then complain to me that I don't call you Mr. Dragon,
that's what I mean.
Or Miss Dragon,
sure,
I know.
Oh, like I actually like. In fact, I'm the type of person to be like, if someone says they're a dragon and like keeps to themselves, I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, do your thing, man. Like, live your life for real. But when you're in public, I'm sorry, you just have to operate like the rest of us. Because that's what I'm saying. I am operating in public with context to be like, I'm trying to.
We're all working together, man.
We're all trying our best, man. When I go to McDonald's, I don't need to explain to McDonald's that it's not as good as all the other fast food chains that I like to go to, because no one there gives a fuck. No one there needs the context of why I'm at that McDonald's for any number of reasons. No one cares. They're serving me food. I'm purchasing it. I'm fucking leaving. The point is that no one on this fucking earth can even handle when people have a difference of opinions most of the time. And I'm very exhausted having to explain and feel the need to like mediate in every fucking conversation I've ever had, or I'm ever having right now. And that's like, it feels a bit exhausting, and I'm starting to get to a point where I don't care as much, and that's also scaring me, because now I'm like willing to say things to people that I just don't care how they react. I'm like, go fuck yourself, here we go. And that, I don't love that. I don't like being that guy, but here we are, you know?
What would you rather be?
I guess just, I mean, I'm what I'm becoming, which is like a recluse.
So like, yeah,
who like performs.
What's the best way to be, man? What's the ideal way to be?
I have no fucking
dealing
clue.
with all this.
I have no clue. Absolutely no. I can't.
It's not good. It's not good to be a fake, and it's also not good to just speak your mind without any regard for the people around you, as far as being offensive and just rude and mean.
Well, it's funny because being it's not even like being a fake. And I find this a lot, especially with guys that I'm meeting nowadays, in our later 20s now. Any dude I meet, we are just having a surface level conversation, trying to get to a point
testing the water to see
where we're both trying to say that we're a little more conservative than we used to be.
Man, it's like your buddy the other day that I was talking to, and I was like, hey, do you like Joe Rogan? I don't remember what I said, but I said something along the lines of, do you like Joe Rogan? And they answered kind of bashfully like, yeah, like, you know, I think he's okay, this or that. And I was like, oh man, I fucking love this guy. I'm like all in. I love Joe Rogan. And he was like, oh, okay, good, yeah, me too. And I was like, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Why wouldn't you just tell me the truth? I told you the truth. Why are you pretending to not like Joe Rogan?
I mean, it's like almost for a lot of my friends, especially the ones I went to high school with, who are in like business and like went to liberal high schools and liberal colleges, there's a lot of like concern around appearing conservative because you'll lose credibility amongst your friend groups and shit. We're ostracizing people based on their beliefs on both sides of the fence.
If I had friends, I'd probably be a different person.
That's what it is, man. But what I'm saying is, you know me, I'm like the friend guy. I'm the guy who meets everybody and is friends with everybody. It's been harder than ever before to make friends. And I'm someone who makes friends easily. So think about that. That's what I'm saying.
So think about that.
So why don't you go fucking think about that?
You
Get the fuck out of here.
You don't want to
dude.
think about that?
Yeah.
You want to think about that?
Well, you don't want that?
Wait, you want to think about that?
I mean, it's just become more and more hard to be casual friends with people because you have to align with every single thing for most people to just tolerate them. And that's what I don't understand. It's like, you know what it is, man? It's like when I was young and I was like in my little Christian Sunday school and for only a short time. But in 5th grade, I had this crush named Jenna Schramm. I loved her.
Jenna Schramm.
Schramm. So the holidays were coming up, and I didn't know that. I just should have known, based on her last name, that Jenna was not celebrating Christmas. If you know what I mean. She's Jewish. That's a very Jewish name, and I didn't know at the time. I'm 10. This is the first year. This is the year I met Brody too. This is 5th grade, and I'm like,
dude, I should have known her name was Jenna Mazel Tov.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah, you should have known, idiot. Anyway, the point is that she sat next to me in 5th grade, and I was like, this chick rules, and I just wanted to tell her that I liked her the whole year. It was just like forever, man. I was just so infatuated with her, man. I can't even tell you.
Oh, you don't have to.
Which is such a fun feeling.
I know it.
It was truly my first big
too
crush.
Familiar.
And like Christmas was coming around. I was like, what are you asking? Or like, what are you asking your parents for Christmas? And she was like, we don't celebrate Christmas. And I was like, what do you mean? I had literally never met anyone else who, at this point in my life, I had not met someone who didn't celebrate Christmas. This is crazy. And I was like, wait, so you don't believe in God? And she was like, no, I'm Jewish. Like, we don't believe in Jesus. And I was like, dead serious. I was like, so that you're going to hell? Asked her that question, and we had like a TA, like a teacher's assistant behind us, and she was like, Jake, why would you say that? And I like had no clue what I had done
like
wrong.
Textbook combo.
Dude, it was crazy. And I remember
That's
being
crazy.
And I'm so glad it happened in that context where I wanted to impress Jenna more than be like, but God's real. It's amazing. Even in 5th grade, I'm like, I'll give up anything for pussy.
Go up on my beliefs.
Yeah. No, God's not real. Sure. You want to go out with me?
Oh, man.
But the point is that literally that day, I was like, maybe I don't know anything. I'm like, somebody's been lying to me, and I don't know who. And anyway, the point is, what were we talking about before this? How did we get here?
Well,
damn, man, we're not even high.
It's gonna be hard to tie those together for me. Hold on one sec. I thought you were gonna tie them for me in a bow, and now you're making me tie them for you. The thing we were just talking about. We came from Kyle Rittenhouse.
Wow,
we moved
so long ago.
Yeah, we moved into.
What a fucking bummer.
Yeah,
it was such a fun story to tie in. God damn it!
Wow. Wait, you're.
Take us back.
Well, at least in line with the story about Jenna Humpberg or whatever her name was.
Schramm.
Schramm, that's right. Jenna Schramm. I remember this girl Zoe. Cannot remember her last name, or maybe I do. And this was 5th or 4th grade or something. Young boy, maybe younger, and it's just a similar story, but slightly different in that she was like, my family doesn't call it Christmas, we call it Xmas. And I was like, and I was being raised a very devout Mormon boy, and I was like, you take the Christ out of Christmas? Like, you say, like, Xmas was like as bad as saying fuck. Like, that's like a bad word. To take Christ out of Christmas? What the fuck are you doing? Are you psycho? Like, that is an antichrist thing to do, you fucking antichrist.
That's insane.
And I was
that you felt that way.
Well, I was just
that you were
I was more
educated
confused
that way.
as a kid. I was just like you, thinking,
yes.
Wait, you don't. Are you going to hell? I was just confused at her home life and everything about it. I was like, you people Xmas. What? Anyway, just lots of that. One time I hugged Mary Petrowski because we had the same color iPods. I was really embarrassed by that experience too. Completely unrelated, but it just popped into my head. Yeah, just how you had a crush on Jenna Schramm. I had a crush on Mary Petrowski.
Yeah.
Like, just loved this girl. Like, was so attracted to her. And I think in Spanish class, after class, I noticed that her iPod mini was, I think we both had silver.
And you were like, we should hug.
I was like, literally, I went up to her after class and was just, for the whole class, that's all I was thinking about. I was like, how am I after this class
what
going
year
to
is this?
execute?
This has to be like middle school.
Oh yeah. Oh no, elementary probably even, like really young.
Were there iPods in elementary?
This is whenever. Okay, this is when it was when the iPod Minis came out.
iPod Mini.
Yep. At first,
Like
so there was the
Nano.
iPod with the 4 buttons on top, and then I don't know if they made another big iPod after that before the Minis, but the Minis came out not too long after.
Not
that.
the Nano.
No. Way before the Nano.
Not
Or
the Shuffle.
Maybe not way. Before the Shuffle. This is the second iPod to, I think, ever come out.
Okay, yeah.
The iPod
Yeah, probably 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
Are you a couple years
at the
who-
very oldest? I am. What? Am I older than what?
Yeah.
I graduated high school 2010. I'm the same age as your older brother.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. I like. You remember like? Do you ever remember scheming so ridiculously for way too long about how you would maybe interact with the girl you had?
Oh
a
my
crush on?
God.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude.
So this whole class, I was like, I have to hug Mary. I think the best way to do it is to bring up our iPods. I finally have my in. I go up to class. I'm like, look at your iPod Mini. It's silver. Mine's silver. Oh, let's hug. And we like hugged.
What'd she do?
The story
Was it
of
weird?
Mary and I never really. No, she hugged and we whatever. I mean, we're 5th graders. 5th graders are fucking weird. I don't know.
No, because I know. Well, yes.
I mean, it wasn't completely random, and it's not like we weren't friends.
Like,
It
did
went
you pull it
well.
off?
Yeah, but
okay.
I didn't also ever really hook up with. I hung out with her after that. I saw her. I visited her after I moved away, but we never hooked up. Never got where I wanted to get.
Yeah, you never smooched.
with Mary P.
Yeah, man. I definitely attempted some pretty rugged maneuvers when I was a wee boy in terms of like trying to get close to girls, like stuff like that, where I'd be like, "Oh, we have the same thing.
Yes.
Do you think we should maybe just like?"
I was just a learning boy. I was learning how to get close.
Yeah, I'm like, should we like sit together at lunch?
iPods are the same color.
anything.
Let's hug. Are you joking?
Anything. I had this like unbelievable fantasy about me and this girl Jenna becoming best friends, and like becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. And someone had told me that she lived down the street from me, like, and it was some kid who like came out of my house, like a buddy, and he was like, yeah, we like drove by this one street, and he was like, she lives right there, and I think he was just completely full of shit, but he was like, dude, we should go down there on our bikes and like throw some water balloons over the fence and like get her attention. And I was like, yeah. So we just like went to this one house and threw a couple water balloons over the fence. Like didn't do anything. Like just like hit the grass and then like rode away.
You just reminded me of something. Yes, keep going.
But like that was me. Like I was like, I'll get her attention. Like that. My hope was that she would like come out and see me and be like, oh my god, Jake. And then like, I'm not even kidding, dude. I never did this. Is what I'm saying. I never went and did it. I would dream about biking down there and doing that all the time just to get her attention, like a child, like an idiot. And I would go and sit out in my front yard, just like in the afternoon, just like like classic sad boy, just like, she'll never notice you. She'll never notice me, dude. I'm nobody. And then at the end of the year, she came up to me and she was like, hey, I heard that you like me. I like you. It was the greatest day of my life.
This is a true story?
Yeah.
This is Jenna Schramm?
Yeah.
You guys did date.
No. It was literally the last day of school, last day I ever saw her. She came up to me and was like, I do.
You never
love
saw her again?
That was the last day I saw her.
Jenna, where are you now? Jenna, you out there? Jenna, if you're listening, dial 1-800-MISS-YOUR-GUTS.
Yeah, no, I think I'm all right. Thanks, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Jenna. Actually, things have changed. Times have changed. Jake's a different person.
Yeah, no,
He's grown up a little bit. Eat shit, Jenna. Man, thank you. I think I'm about to admit to a crime here. Your story just reminded me. I know this is a very disjointed situation as far as our conversation is concerned, but when are we not disjointed? Speaking of joints. Man, you just made me remember something that I feel quite terrible about, to be clear, and I have to leave out all the details. So I remain innocent to some degree. There was just a time in high school, could have been 9th grade, could have been 10th,
All right.
where we threw water balloons full of urine at this girl's party, like from over the fence, like down the road, biked down the road.
Urine.
Dude, not cool, man.
That's
Some of them were
horrible.
just water balloons. I'm pretty sure, man. I don't really remember.
you
I don't
pee
even
in
know
one?
if I peed in a balloon. I honest to God, cannot remember.
Wow, yeah.
But I know this happened. There was probably 5 of us. I know I was with the group, so I'm guilty by association.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
certainly.
probably at least lobbed something.
For not
If not a bag
stopping
of
it,
pee-
yeah,
oh,
you're
yeah,
guilty.
Man, no,
yeah, yeah.
man.
But
Pretty
it's
messed
so
up.
easy.
No, fucked up, man. And I don't
Did it hit anybody?
No clue. I don't remember, and I don't know if we even knew. I think we tossed and ran. But, dude, it might have been her birthday party. I can't remember. I just know that it was bad. That we threw bags of urine at someone's celebration. What the fuck, man? I'm
Dude,
so
it's so-
disappointed in myself.
Oh, no, it's so easy. Man, the amount of, like, dumb pranks you get into as a young lad.
Oh, yeah,
where
pooping in urinals. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Just
certainly.
all of
Did
it.
it at pickup sticks. Not even as a prank. I
Man.
went in. I was at an age when my older brother and I would go into the bathroom together, and we both had to poop, and he was like, "I'm shitting in there. You shit in the urinal, pussy." Literally. And I'm like, he's like 11. I'm, what does that mean? 8, 7. And I'm like, all right. And I shit in the urinal and just clogged the urinal and just cried. Literally just cried.
Dude, probably not as hard as that janitor cried.
Dude, the janitor was so funny. He was like, "It's okay." And I was like,
Oh, you got caught and
Yes.
talked to about it? What the?
Yes.
No way.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I cried. I didn't just cry because I pooped in the urinal. Like,
Yeah, I was confused.
they were like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Damn.
And
I'll cry
my older
too.
brother was like, "I didn't know." Like, it wasn't even, that's what I mean. It wasn't even a prank. But the pranks that we did do were, I was friends with this one guy. I don't want to say his name, but
I know we gotta keep some anonymous anonymity.
I played hockey with him, and he was just kind of like a jackass type. Like, just didn't give a shit about like pain or anything. He was nuts, man. He just wasn't my cup of tea. But our moms were really good friends, and we spent a lot of time together. And we have some love and affection for each other, but we're not the same type of person. Like, he thinks I'm a total pussy, and I think he's insane. But we spent a lot of time together because his mom would like drop him off at my house, and like we just like every now and again he would just be there for hours and hours and hours. But I one time spent a day at his house, and he had no shame about anything. He would do that thing where he'd like tape the streets and stuff and put like bottles on the duct tape. You ever see this? He would lay down duct tape upside down on the street and tie plastic bottles to it.
And then it's
Cars would drive by and it would like stick and like rattle on their cars and stuff.
I've never.
It was bizarre. I know. I like didn't even know that was a thing. I don't know how people found out about this stuff before the internet. Also, like you just had to hear word of mouth, like how to do pranks. And then, dude, one day he just like, we were doing that prank, and it was like funny because it's pretty harmless.
It's pretty funny.
And then he was just like, "Watch this," and he picked up a rock and just threw it through someone's window.
A house or a car?
A house. Just threw it through the window, and we just ran.
Dude.
Like, I didn't know he was gonna do it, and like, he just did. I literally ran so fucking fast. Like, I to this day, I don't think I've like ran with that much panic. I couldn't believe it. It was like that quick.
Man.
Like a car ran over the duct tape, and we were like, "Haha, we got him!" And then he was like, "Check this out!" Boom. Ran.
Yes.
Never know what happened. Yeah.
Some Lord of the Flies shit, man. All starts harmless, then before you know it,
It's
one
so
of the kids is
easy.
getting their head smashed.
It's
on a rock.
so easy for it to spill over into something just crazy.
Dude, that's like
because you don't
what's
even
the
see
movie
it that
we saw
way.
when we first met each other. American Animals.
American Animals, yeah, 100%.
Holy shit. That movie made me look at myself in so many ways just to question where I would fit into that story. That's a crazy story. Everyone go see it. Speaking of movies, speaking of specifically Jackass. Wow.
Yeah, great time.
Wow. Just a
Yeah,
quick
what a
review
fucking
on
great
that.
time.
10 out of 10. 11 out of 10. Must.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the franchise, you got to see it.
Oh, it's absolutely sensational.
Must see. A must see.
What a
Really
good
hard to
time.
watch. Impossible to watch. Can't believe that I am what I am and they are what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that whole time the amount of money they make. I was like, I could probably do this.
Make
There's
that
some-
much money?
No, like
Or do what they do.
Do some of those stunts for that for a lot of money.
Man.
A lot of those things that they were doing yesterday, I was like, depending on the number, I could do that.
Man, there is, I would say some of those things they were doing, I feel that way about. Most of them, I don't feel that way about. Some of them, I definitely could never do.
I would never do the bees, obviously, because I'd die. But the bull, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But a lot of
Especially
the
if you're a piano
slide.
player, man. You're trying to fuck up your wrist.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How much money is this? Can I get any kind of reparation surgery? Like, they're still walking around.
Yeah, but isn't Johnny
obviously,
Knoxville peeing in a
Knoxville's got
bag?
a messed up dick, and they all have like serious injuries, but like they're still doing all right.
Let's see. I mean, kind of. Yeah, I know what you mean.
What,
There's a couple things I'd have a
number?
hard time dealing with.
Like we're talking 20 million to do some of those things.
I don't know. What are they making?
I don't know. I'd be curious to know.
Like, what are the new guys making? Like they're making the rising generation of Jackass, obviously, which I just haven't. Maybe I haven't participated enough in the Jackass universe to have an opinion on this, and I could just make a fool of myself right here. But I can't tell you that I'm too stoked about the upcoming members of Jackass. Jackass doesn't feel like to me something that the torch should be handed off.
I felt the same.
Too. Like, I think it should end. I think there should be a conclusion, because I'm hearing speak of it basically. There's a new generation of Jackass, essentially.
Well, that's what they were trying to show.
Yeah, exactly.
It was odd.
I'm not totally into that. Cool to do your own thing, but I don't think the torch needs to be handed off. I don't think there's a baton here that we're passing, me personally. But whatever. And anyways, those guys and their parts weren't my favorite. I really appreciate, and this all this to say about the money. I bet they're obviously going to be making less than Johnny and Steve-O and those guys, but I wonder what they are making. What are the new, new guys making?
That Johnny Knoxville and Steve-O and
what a special group of people.
Dave England, just the main core. I mean, they're just so goddamn funny.
Untouchable.
Man. Yeah.
That's why don't hand something so crafted to you to someone else. It's
especially
yours.
Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville as the showman that he is.
Dude,
he's a comedian.
So funny as
calculated.
The guy.
Yes.
As the spokesperson.
Yeah.
He is so funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
As the guy leading it, everything he says, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He's so funny, man.
Dude,
God, I had a really good time.
The way he'd run those games,
really hard.
The way he would create the suspense in the games,
That's what I mean.
And just like
actually,
right when to hit it.
I think just naturally good at it though, but obviously good at it. I don't think he like is trained in being good at this. He's just good at that.
No, he's just like he must have had like an older brother. I don't even know. He must have either been the funny older brother or been raised by a bunch of older dudes. Like, he must have been around a lot of older brother-like figures to know every funny moment. He just knows when to hit someone in the balls where it isn't the meanest thing in the world. It's actually funny. And it blows my mind.
Yeah.
I never think that shit's funny. Like, if someone were to hit me in the balls these days, I would fuck them up. Like, I would be so pissed off.
That's why I like those guys, too, man. One of the elements of it that I could never be on board for, but think is the most admirable, is this idea that anything could happen at any moment. Those guys are always at risk of being fucked with, man, and that's scary. And like in ways that are like crazy, man.
As soon as they're on set, it's Jackass time.
Like you might your fucking porta potty might be exploding. Your this or that might be happening. You might be getting hit in the nuts. But I love how loose they are with it, man. I love that a guy gets hit in the nuts and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna zen out and have a good day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just like be with the boys. I'm like you. You hit me in the nuts. Oh my God!
I'll never trust you again.
I'm gonna be pissed at you.
Yeah.
And the rest of my day is probably gonna be me thinking about how I got hit in the nuts. I'll complain and use it as an excuse to not have a productive day.
Now these
guys
guys are
I don't need to go to. I got hit in the nuts today. I don't need to do anything. Oh my God, I'm a pussy.
I couldn't help it. The whole time, the movie reminded me of that woman who like laughter yoga or whatever the fuck it was.
Dude.
Or it's kind of a similar idea where you just like laugh in the face of horrid pain.
Yeah.
Which is how Jackass kind of feels. That there's obviously an intense thrill that all those guys get off of it.
I think
fun.
The one that I had the hardest time with, and maybe this is me being some sort of, you can help me be less dumb maybe, or correct my thinking here. But I'll be honest. I don't know how long this guy's been with the crew, but the bigger guy, the overweight guy, Zach.
Yeah.
Has he been with the crew for a while?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't even know Jackass was still happening.
Okay. So then we're kind of on the same page. His parts were the toughest for me, man. There was like a little bit of an element of like.
I don't think I felt the same way as you about it. I
felt everyone else. It's not even about him. I don't know how to make this sound correct, but his parts were the least fun, and enjoyable for me to watch because they seemed the most brutal without a point, and also they seemed the most bullying to me. Like it was like not that he was being bullied and he didn't care, but at the same, everyone else's. It just felt weird in his part. There's an element to Jackass or that movie that felt a little hazish, bullying to me, to the new guys, and to me that's just what it is. I don't
feels that
know.
way.
I probably sound like
it feels that way especially when Knoxville's like absolutely torturing people, but then Knoxville will get in the bullpen.
That's what I'm
like. And I'm like, well,
even
like he does the
that's
biggest
running the show, like the director or whoever that guy is, the producer.
Yeah.
He gets kind of fucked with sometimes, and that I appreciate that.
Because I was thinking about it when I was going to sleep last night in regards to everything you're talking about. Because the bear one where he was shocking the guy and the bear was eating the food around him. That one really felt like genuine torture to me. Like that, he was torturing that person, Aaron, and
like you could have some trauma afterwards.
Yeah, at the end when he was like, "Is it done?" Like he was like
PTSD.
really scared of Knoxville. Like he was real. There were multiple times in the film where they were terrified of Knoxville, because they were like, "It's not over. I'm not leaving. I'm not going out that door." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where they're so terrified of what's coming next because Knoxville is so ruthless. But then that motherfucker will do the hardest core of the stunts. Even the getting shot out of the cannon into the lake with the Icarus stunt they did was it was hardcore, man.
I love that stunt. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm way more in to that kind of stunt where there's high risk for something to go wrong, big time, but also high risk, like high reward, funny. Also, nothing goes wrong. Great stunt. I don't love the stunts that are smash my balls, there is no reward, fall onto tacks, like injure yourself for no. I don't really like the injure yourself for no reason.
The for sure the getting punched in the nuts, the puck to the nuts, all those ones. I'm just like I could.
And
probably
even some
do
of them,
without.
there's a spectrum. Some of them are more okay than others, but they just get to these
softball
these parts
one
that are just
was
about
super funny.
hurting people
Yeah.
and giving them bruises and like potentially altering their body chemistry forever.
Yeah.
Or body like fucking mangling their bodies.
For
I mean,
sure.
Holy shit. Anyway, dude, I'd love to get a little ripskied.
Yeah, let's go smoke some weed.
I'm just gonna look up real quick. What did the CCs mean in Mario Kart? Just so we can know. Mario Kart spelled with a K, huh? CC in reality terms stands for cubic centimeters, which relates to the volume of the engine. As it is guessed, the higher the CCs, the faster the engine will go. As the speed of your cart or bike increases, so does the difficulty of your fellow CPU adversaries. So it is both speed and difficulty. But it's difficult because of speed.
Really? Not difficult because
that's
the
what
levels and the
that's what it's
turns?
saying. Are you saying like the level? So the levels are different for each CC. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's what I thought originally.
Yeah.
Like you had to do the fastest CCs for Rainbow Road, or something. Is
I
that
don't-
wrong?
I think so,
Am I
man.
high? You
No.
think so, or you think I'm right?
I don't think you're right. I think that you were originally right. That is...
You could play Rainbow Road on any CC?
No.
Fuck my ass.
Wait. Are you saying what I'm saying? I'll tell you what I'm saying, then you can tell me what you're
Yes, go
saying. Because
ahead.
I don't know what anyone's saying.
Go ahead and spit it out.
50 cc, like you could only do a certain amount of levels on 50 cc. You can
Yeah.
only do certain, like the cc is associated with a level.
Yes.
I didn't even recognize speed because I always thought it was just associated with level.
Yes.
Which like totally could be speed. I just wouldn't have even noticed. I don't think.
No, yeah. That's what you think.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. So
Am I wrong?
wonder,
Is this a
man.
Mandela
I can't
effect?
remember, man. I can't remember if I think you're. I truly can't remember because here's what I do know, is the levels are associated with cups. So there's like the mushroom cup,
Right.
the star cup. Now are cups associated with CCs?
No.
I didn't think.
Oh, but
what
some
you
of
just
them
said
are.
is that they were. What you just said is that they
Some
were.
of them are.
All of them would have to be. What do you mean some of them? What? There were some that everyone could play, but only some. What?
No, I think they were like 50 cc were these maps. 100.
That's what I'm. Dude, holy shit. Yes. Oh my god.
I actually
Anyway,
didn't.
neither of us actually know, and we're not gonna look it up. So I was thinking. You feel like this. It's a difficult motion. It's so digital. This kiss. First of all, I love you. Secondly, I think we have two segments to run at one time. The first is bunt stuff. And while we do bunt stuff, I think we should also... what was the other seggy? There's another seg. If not, we'll just do bunt stuff.
Dads and Nads.
You tell me, man.
I texted to you.
Is that the one?
Is it from today?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just, I guess if you had an idea. But truly, what's really mattering right now is me unraveling these white chocolate
You were like, there's two
raspberry
new segments. Then you just said fun stuff while we do, and then you made it about. I'm trying to figure out what I had planned, and I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't even say this shit. Like, how did I end up in this debacle?
I do it to you all the time.
Dude, you did.
Wow.
You threw the fucking flag in my wine, you piece of shit.
Happy birthday. That's a birthday flag in your wine, baby. That's what good friends do.
You're such a piece of shit.
So, if I could choose for my mom to give me these bun cakes, I would have decided for them to be red velvet. I love red velvet.
Is that right, dude?
This
I don't
is
like red
exciting.
velvet.
Yeah,
Red
but if
velvet
this is your
goes to
mom
me.
giving you these, is that what happened here?
What?
This is-
These are my favorite?
These are from Mama.
Yeah, my mom.
Thank you, Jake's mom.
Yeah,
Very
thanks,
cool.
Diane.
Very cool.
Love you.
Next year, if you want to include a red velvet, totally cool by me, Diane. I love you.
I'm not a red velvet guy.
Were these in the fridge, or were we just having these
They
on the
were.
countertop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them cold a little bit.
I actually don't. I kind of tried to leave them out, but they should be kind of
I
between.
I prefer. I actually put my red velvets in the freezer. To be completely honest, when I worked at Dear Lizzie in high school, a little boutique and bistro, I would take those red velvies that we sold and put them in the freezer. My God. What's the verdict? This is white. This is not. This is lemon. This is just white chocolate. Raspberry. They're the
Should
same,
be.
I think.
Yeah, it should be.
I mean, the layers to that icing, the flavor layers, the flayers. Oh my God, we have an issue. It's called.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's fucking animal, man. God.
We had a dog break into the premises and hijack Jake's
Oh my
fork.
God, I can't figure out freaking collar. When you get the fuck out of here, dude.
This bun cake is truly amazing. I highly recommend. I highly.
How good is that, man?
I just don't think I've
It's
ever
explosive.
had a bunt cake better than Nothing Bunt Cakes. They
Mhm.
make the.
Uh-huh.
Why would you get one from anywhere else? They're so insane, and people that don't like them, I'm not interested in dealing with or talking to.
I don't know
Doesn't
how
make
you
any
couldn't.
sen- That's
I
what
don't know how
mean.
you couldn't.
You're gonna find yourself in a place that I just already know I don't want to be if you're that kind of person.
This is insane. It's
This is
unbelievable.
It's the same way that if you don't find I think you should leave funny, it's just probably like you and I. We most likely could be at best acquaintances. Yeah. Like I'm down to be acquaintances. We can acquaintance up, but it just can't go past that. Anyway, if you feel it.
I mean, this is even more insane. Like,
I don't know. That's a little more specific. It's true.
I think you should leave. I agree. Like, if you will be one of my good friends if you like that. You like that?
You like that?
But bunt cake. This is a universal. This is Ryan Gosling. Everyone
I
likes.
don't think Ryan Gosling is universal. Actually, you know who feels a little more universal?
Chris Hemsworth.
He does to me, but he's in a fight. I mean, other than the
The
battle of his
Rock.
brother, The Rock is universal.
Everyone loves The Rock, man.
Universal.
God, he's enjoyable. I'd watch Central Intelligence right
Snoop
now.
Dogg.
Oh yeah.
Universal.
Oh, loved, man. Winnie? Winry?
Winry?
Not universal.
Winnie, you
I
aren't even,
hate you.
You aren't even loved in this household.
I love you.
Yeah, you're so cute. I love you so much.
She does bother me a lot.
Yeah, I hate her.
Stop, you little pest.
Oh, keep it up, Winnie. I love you.
Pig.
Winnie, you never said oink. So anyway,
Wow, man, I didn't think I was going to eat this, and I'm just...
we're having a hard time not eating
Destroying
it more
this
than.
thing, dude.
I mean, the rest of this podcast is just us mouthing on this bun cake.
Oh, my
and
God.
Getting mad at this
Oh my God.
cute dog. It's really absurd how good it is. So the reasons why I like red velvet would be there's chocolate chips in there, so there's like another little texture, which also makes freezing it good because the chocolate chips get frozen. Really wonderful.
The chocolate
texture to add
chips.
in.
There's chocolate chips in the chocolate, too.
Yeah. Yes. The chocolate's my second favorite.
Oh, my
I
God.
don't know
the
why I
chocolate's
like. I
good.
think just the color. It's just fun for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I hear red velvet is just chocolate anyway. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
anyway, I love having that added texture of the chocolate chip. But this flavor is insane.
It's like funfetti.
It's so yes.
It's adult funfetti.
Yes.
Yeah, because funfetti didn't age as
But-
well as I would have wanted it to. It's still delicious,
Dude.
but this is it.
It really is this cream cheese frosting too, man. I don't like frosting, and this I could just suck on all day long.
I don't like frosting either,
It's
man.
so
Yep.
yummy. There's so many
Yeah, I
flavors.
could suck on the teat
There's so
of
many
this.
flavor layers. I'm telling you, there are layers to this flavor.
Yeah, no, I'd suck that teat of this
The
bun
longer
cake.
you like kind of suckle on it, the more you release the flavor. You can kind of tell where you get taken on a little bit of a frosting.
Remember
journey.
how I told you that I don't believe in love? If a girl took her shirt off and for 2 nice set of teats she had just 2 giant bun cakes, I'd be in love.
Yeah, I would wait to have sex with this icing just to get married in the temple.
Yeah. Wait, what? That was completely by accident, right? No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was just funny.
You meant to do that? That was so good. You just beat me the fuck up, bro. I couldn't figure out what the hell you said. I just feel like someone threw a maze into my face, just like you slapped me in the face with a fucking puzzle, and I'm like,
It's a nice little blunt, man.
wow.
Look at the little blunt. And I mean, honest to God, I'm ready to keep getting high, watch some bloopers, and turn off this podcast.
I totally agree, but it's been a pleasure having all of our listeners.
I can't even believe it. I'm really grateful for all of you. I don't want to get teary-eyed here, but
Stop. Turn this shit off.
I can't stop.